Okay guys, I'm going to be doing a short video in my front room. So I'm just going to be sat down on my chair here so I can talk to you personally. So the reason why I'm doing this video the way I am today, just sat in my front room, just so you can see me chill out in my relaxed atmosphere, is because me and my little brother, we were talking today. I went round there to help him paint his kitchen. He's just had an extension done. And he was telling me that, well, he wasn't telling me, we were just discussing about business in general. And the reason why we were talking about business is because of the fact that most people, when they go into business, they don't talk about, they don't go into details with a lot of things. And not only that, they don't intend to over deliver. It seems like you pay for what you get, basically. Now, whenever I bought something, you know, I've always paid extra because of the fact that I like getting good stuff. Now, for instance, I went out and bought a Bose. You know, I'd rather pay the extra and get a Bose instead of get a normal stereo. I know Bose is good. You know, I've got one of those little handheld Bluetooth speakers. Not only that, I've got a few bits and pieces from Bose as well. Like when I built my PC, I paid for the best in my PC because I want it to last, the lastability. So it's the same when delivering a product. Now, me and my brother, we always said that we would go the extra mile for the customer. And with him in the sort of building industry, we were painting his you know, kitchen, and there's one thing that just popped up into my head, and I said, you know what, if I was a builder and I'd done all the work and I replastered everything, you know, I just plastered everything, made it all nice and smooth, I would whitewash that. I would paint it. I'd paint it white, so then the customer, when they come into the kitchen, they'd have a nice white kitchen, and then they can repaint it if they need to. At least then they've got white walls to paint over. Simple as that. You know, just that extra thing, something that they didn't expect. Now, a light bulb went off in my head, and I thought, you know, I'm going to do a video on this because of the fact that whenever I do haircuts, or if I do anything with any products online, I always over deliver. You know, when the customer comes in, they come in, they sit down, they have a consultation. This is in my shop. They have a consultation. We then take them on, you know, wash their hair with the experience. We do them a nice treatment. So that's one extra thing going for an extra, you know, just adding the extra. And then going after the treatment, they come back to me. We offer them a drink. So when we start reeling off the list for drinks, like we have tea, coffee, cappuccino, latte, hot chocolate, fresh juice. So we got pineapple, tropical, apple, we got normal cordial juice, and we have, you know, wine, red wine, white wine, and beer for the customers as well. So I try and have something for everybody there. And so when we offer them this, they normally say, oh, you know, I don't often get, you know, the extra, you know. Now, I always find that if you go out the extra mile and you go out to impress that person, you know, you always spend a lot of hairdressers only give them like 45 minutes for a cut and blow dry. They come into my salon, they get an hour, if not an hour and a half. So I always make sure I book out a time slot. They're paying for that time, therefore they're going to keep coming back. Now, to say with my products, I intend to give the customer the full product, plus I give them extra bonuses. So I go all out, you know, and if they buy the next product, I then put on an extra bit for them, just because of the fact that they can have the extra product in there. I would rather make sure that the customer is satisfied. You know, you don't want to give too much away because you devalue the product, but at the same time, if you go that extra mile and you give that extra little thing, that one thing extra, you'll find that the customers will be happy with you, just in general. So one word of advice is go the extra mile. Push out, give yourself the chance to get a 5-star rating. You do that, you push it out for the extra mile, you're going to end up with satisfied customers. If somebody's not happy with you, how can you make it better? Then you either give them something in return just so they come back to you, or you redo the service, or whatever, but just push it out the extra mile. That's what I say. If you can do this, everyone, you're going to be satisfied, because you're going to have 5-star ratings from people that come onto your website and then write a comment on it. Also, as well, you have the customer who's built that confidence with you, so they know that you're going to go the extra mile. Okay, so they know that you're going to over deliver. You always over deliver, because, as I said, if the plasterer came in and he whitewashed all my walls as well as plastered, well, I know you can't do it, but say for instance, like the builders came and done a bit of building work and they finished all the building and the walls were all plastered, and then if they just whitewashed everything, made sure that everything was just perfect white, so you got a blank canvas to work from instead of it just leaving it plastered, that one thing will boost their sales up, because the recommendations. People talk about something good and they recommend. Yeah, so you'll always have someone that recommends somebody else. There's always people that want to recommend a builder. If you recommend a builder, you turn around and say, right, okay, I recommend this builder, he done this, this and this, and on top of that, he done this as well. So they're going to be talking about that one extra thing that they received. So say for instance, you sold a product, you sold an ebook, you over delivered, you gave them an extra 3 ebooks that are complementing that 1 ebook, and then you gave, when they talk to their friends, oh, I bought this book and I got these extra 3 books free with it, so that it's recommendation, and then they comment on it, and then their Facebook, and then put the link on the website, and so on and so on. And it's all about recommendation. People respect the recommendation. So, there's one word of advice that I'm going to give to you. So I hope you take this, up here, and I'd like to see people who are starting up a business or who are already in a business give the extra mile. Do the extra mile, give the extra, the satisfaction, because you're going to benefit so much from it. I'll tell you now, As I said, me and my little brother, we were just talking about it. The younger generation these days, they expect everything for nothing, for the least amount of work, and they intend to just do what they're paid to do. They won't go out the extra mile. This is the attitude that some of the younger generation is adapting to. So it's almost like the quality of life for these younger generation. They don't understand that if you go that extra mile, that you'll have that extra bit at the end to prove to your boss that you're worth it, and that you're willing to go just that little bit further just to please them. Because if you do this as well in your job, if you've got a job, you'll find that your ratings will go up. People will talk about you all the time. Oh yeah, so-and-so done this, because they're willing to put the extra bit of work in there, or stay 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later, and making sure that the work is done. Okay, so that's just my word of advice. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. It's worked for me in the past. I've managed to get where I am today because of this. I've always gone that extra mile. I've always over-delivered, on everything I do. I give 110%. Even when I worked for someone, I was giving them 110%. And that's why it put me in a higher position to ask for more money, because of the fact that I always over-delivered and I always made the most money in the salons. Having the clientele base that I had, it just, wow. You get what you pay for at the end of the day. And if you over-deliver, then you know that you're spending good money. So that's my life lesson, my first steps of business advice is to please your customer, over deliver. Bye for now.